to another video around the Automatiko project dealing with the REST APIs. This is like a follow-up video of the first one that introduced the use of OpenAPI specification to build up automatically client invocation of the REST APIs. And today we're going to look at the errors and how to handle errors with the REST calls. So looking at the example we had before, so we simply use the interface that points to the Swagger pet store. We want to grab the user base and the username. So what we do here, we get the information out of that context. But now we want to handle the errors as well. So to handle errors, we can use simply the boundary error event. So we attach that to our activity that is responsible for getting the user. And let's say we want to make sure that if the user is not found, we wanted to log the error and quit instead of failing and putting the application in the error state. But before we do that, let's just get this example up and running again. So let's jump back here. We start the application in the development mode, so it will interact with our operations or with our modifications to the sample. So just let's get that going. So as you can see, it just generates a bunch of information. We have it now up and running. So we just back here and just go to localhost development portal. So we have the Automatiko service. There is one workflow definition. We can jump to the workflow console as well, and no instances, extremely simple one. But we can as well look at the one and then Swagger UI. So this is our example, and if we just go here and run, let's say John, let's see what happens here. Alright, and as you can see, unknown error, status code 404, so the user not found. And as you can see, we have the application that is throwing an error. So let's take this into a bit better state. So we simply just attach the error event, and we then look at the tasks, and let's just use the script task to just log the information that it failed, and that's pretty much it. So we append the event. That's it. So it will gracefully shut down. We can just go into the script, just and it's system out. Or we can even do better. Log, and there will be user not found. Select this, and then the user name. So that would be log. Alright, so we have that, and let's now configure the error event. So here we have information about the error. We don't have any errors right now, so let's create new one, and let's call it not found. And if we just jump to the error, we want to put the error code. So this is the error code that we want to catch with this element. So we have the error code 404 for not found. We don't want to map then exceptions to any or the variables of the error to anything else. So we have that, and as we just close that one, the application should get reloaded on the next incoming request. So we have the same reply, and just run it. Alright, and as you can see, the response this time is 200, and here we have the logging of it. And now let's find out the information. And here is our log statement from our script task. So we have the user not found. So with that, we can extremely simple handle errors. And if we want to, for instance, configure it in addition to that, we can go to the error and work on the error itself with the custom attributes. We can define the retry policies as well. So instead of failing immediately, it can do a retry, like retry, and then we specified after what time. So we specified it in a ISA format. So it's a period, time, that's 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds for 3 times it will handle those errors instead of just going straight to the log. And as you can see, we just run that here again. You see that and here, and we should see the errors to be the retries to be taken off a few times, and then if it's failing 3 times, because that's the default one, it will simply end the execution with exact same program. Now let's see what instances we have active. No instances active, so it actually found the user. So let's try another one. ECTE. As you can see, a few times user not found, and finally user not found is taken from the script task. So with that, I showed you very quickly on what and how easy it is to handle errors for the REST calls using the error boundary events with specifying the error code that matches the response code. So this is the easiest way of handling errors of the REST APIs, because they rely on the HTTP response code, and it's easy to map. In the further releases there will be options as well to specify multiple error codes to make sure that it can actually match one of those instead of specifying multiple error events. So that's upcoming with the 0.7 release of Automatiko. So stay tuned, and the next video around the REST APIs will be how to build something that is not OpenAPI compliant, so then we take advantage of building it ourselves with the services support rather than going through the OpenAPI client generation. Thank you very much for listening.